What's up, YouTube? Sorry I didn't get this video up earlier. My channel wasn't letting me switch, so alright, this is Vader versus Team Crew. I'm gonna start from the bottom. First fight is Nolan Tickman versus Frankie Sanchez. Frankie Sanchez got record 8-2. Nolan Tickman's got record 4-1. I'm gonna pick Sanchez. I don't really know anything about either of these guys. I just think Sanchez has got more experience, so I think he's gonna get the decision. Sam Alvey versus Tom Watson. Sam Alvey was the guy from The Ultimate Fighter. I don't remember too much about him. I just remember he was on The Ultimate Fighter and he didn't. And now he's in the UFC. And Tom Watson's the guy from the UK. And Sam Alvey changed at Team Quest, and Tom Watson isn't very good at stuff and takedown. I mean, his record's like 1-3 or 1-4 in the UFC. If he wasn't so popular, I think he would have been cut by now. So I think Sam Alvey is going to win this one by decision. Next we got Sarah McMahon versus Lauren Murphy. I mean, this one's another easy one. I think Lauren Murphy's just a boxer. Sarah McMahon got the silver medal in women's wrestling Olympics, so you know, she's just gonna take her down and beat her up. I mean, she's either gonna get a TKO or win by UD. Alright, next we got Juicy Formiga versus Zach Makovsky. I think Makovsky has been getting better and better every fight, as where Juicy Formiga just doesn't look as good as when he first started. I think Makovsky's wrestling is gonna get it done in this one, so I'm gonna pick Makovsky by decision. On the main card, we got Robbie Peralta versus Thiago Tavares. A lot of people are picking Tavares just because Robbie Peralta doesn't have very good takedown defense or submission defense, but his last fight, I mean, he showed that his takedown defense and his ability to get back up is getting better. I mean, I think Honey Jason was better than Thiago Tavares, and Robbie Peralta beat him. So I think Robbie Peralta is going to win by knockout. You know, he fights at this weight class all the time, and this is Tavares' first fight at this weight class. So, you know, I think unless Tavares gets that first round submission, I think Robbie Peralta is going to get a second round KO. Next we got Sean Jordan versus Jack May. I think this fight is going to be exactly like Jack May's last fight, where he'll be winning in the beginning, he'll start to get tired. Sean Jordan will, you know, Sean Jordan's biggest strength is his athleticism and endurance, and I think late in the first he'll be able to hit a switch or reverse position, get on top, and then TKO him. So I'm going to pick Sean Jordan, either late first round TKO or early second round TKO. Next we got Seth Baczynski versus Alan Jaboyne. You know, I think Seth Baczynski's just more well-rounded, and I think Seth Baczynski's going to win this fight by submission. I don't know. Alan doesn't look like he's at Seth's level. You know, Seth has fought a lot of the best guys at this weight class. So I'll pick Seth by submission. Next we got Brad Tavares versus Tim Boetsch. Tim Boetsch, you know, he's just been looking older and slower and gassing more in every fight. He doesn't look good anymore. He doesn't look like he did when he first dropped down. I think the weight cut is just too much as he gets older. Brad Tavares, on the other hand, you know, he's beating more and more of the better guys, and even though he lost his last fight against Yoel Romero, he took him down a couple times, and Yoel Romero is one of the best wrestlers in UFC ever. So, you know, I think Brad is on the upswing and Boetsch is on the downswing, and I think Brad's gonna get, it's probably gonna be like the Costa Philippou fight, where Brad is gonna wear him out and finish him late in the third. Next we got Gray Maynard versus Ross Pearson, and I actually think this is the toughest fight to call in the whole card, because if Gray shows up with a really wrestling heavy game, I think he'll win. But if he tries to box with Ross, I think Ross is gonna win. And the thing is, as far as I'm concerned, Ross has won 4 straight, even though his last 2 fights was like a no contest and a loss. I mean, he clearly beat Diego Sanchez, and he was probably going to win that Melvin fight. Melvin hasn't looked good in forever, so, and Gray, on the other hand, his last 2 losses were knockouts. But, you know, it wasn't against scrubs, it was against Nate Diaz and TJ Grant, so it's one of those things where this is really gonna be a huge telltale for if Ross is top 15 or if Gray is still top 15. I think Gray's the better fighter, but I think he's on the downswing like Tim Boetsch, and I think Ross is on the upswing. It's just hard for me to pick against Gray because I think Gray is just the better fighter, and it's just. But I think it's the same thing with Boetsch and Tavares. I'm gonna pick Gray Maynard. He's gonna win by split decision. Next we got Ryan Bader versus OSP, and even though this is 5 rounds, I think Ryan Bader is better. I think OSP, you know, he's a lot bigger than most of the guys he fights, even though, you know, I mean, they're at 205. A lot of the guys he fights looks like they could probably drop to 85, except for like 2 of them. I think Bader's just fought the better people, and they both got about the same amount of losses, but Bader's losses were all the badasses, as were OSP's losses to scrubs. You know, he's looked good his last 4 fights, but most of those guys, I think they've all been cut except for Ryan Jimmo. That's the only, and Ryan Jimmo was looking good in that fight until he broke his arm. So I'm gonna pick Bader. I'm not sure how he's gonna win, but I'm gonna pick Bader. Alright, thank you guys for watching. I'll also have the next video up of Bisping versus Lee sooner.